Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Trinidaddy, and let's queer up South Florida and Florida. City of Naples loses against Naples Pride and ACLU as June Pride will go forward. Naples Pride faced a difficult situation when they were granted their event permit by the city. Naples city officials granted the permit with restrictions requiring drag performances be held inside and that no attendees could be under 18. That prompted the Pride organizers to sue the city. On Monday, U.S. District Judge John Steele ruled that Naples city officials violated free speech by adding these restrictions. In his ruling, he wrote, quote, "The city's requirement of an indoor location for the drag performance, even if a good faith attempt to mitigate risk, is clearly viewpoint and content based. A restriction imposed on speech deemed immoral or scandalous is clearly a viewpoint-based restriction," end quote. Many cities have attempted similar restrictions on Pride events following the drag ban signed into law by Governor Ron DeSantis. Federal courts have ruled that the law cannot currently be enforced. However, Naples was also originally charging $36,000 for security costs, significantly higher than the cost charged to similarly sized events at the same location. That was also struck down by the judge. In a statement on social media, Naples Pride Board member Calhan Soldavini was quoted as saying, "This victory is bigger than drag, bigger than one Pride celebration, and bigger than one community. It is a victory for the rule of law, for the principles of democracy, and for the foundational ideal that no government, local, state, or federal may silence voices simply because they are different or because they challenge the status quo. It reaffirms the Constitution, protects everyone equally, not just the favored or the familiar," end quote. Now the entire community exercises their First Amendment rights by participating, performing, and attending Naples Pride on June 7th. So you know what? We knew all of these things were unconstitutional. The things that DeSantis is doing, the things that Trump is doing, everybody knows that they're unconstitutional. The strategy is let's just put it into the court system, try to get a stay, and see how long we can tie it up in court until and make everybody so fearful of doing something that we can essentially cancel Pride events, we can cancel drag events for the next year or two until we can figure out another strategy to bring them down. Yeah. That's all this is. And to Biden's credit, when he left office, his main thing was getting all of the lower level judges in place and appointed so that they don't move up the chain. And so a lot of that did work. I get called by HRC, Human Rights Campaign, every other day. Because they can't figure out how to take my name off of the list when I give the money. But anyways, I support you all. And their first line is that we have defeated every anti-LGBTQ law that has come across or a proposal in the past, I think, year or so. So shout out to HRC for doing what you're doing legally and standing up for everybody. But just know that's what they're doing. It is unconstitutional, and don't be fearful in the fight. Yeah. We have to be out there. We have to be protesting. And when they tell us we can't do something, we can't get into drag, we can't walk on the street hand in hand, whatever Handmaid's Tale bullshit that they're trying to pull, we have to stay strong and continue to resist.
You know, it is now, we're in May, right? And William Haas, the president of the Bears of South Florida, who's also a member of Naples Pride, right, came and brought us this story to the table months ago, right? When sponsorships were pulling out, when the city didn't want to give them the permits, right? You know, to charge a small group like Naples Pride, $36,000 for security, when last year it was a third of that. You know, it's just a slap in the face, literally telling you we're only charging you more because you're queer, right? Because you're doing an LGBTQ plus event. And many others would have just rolled over and said, you know what? We don't want the drama, right? Yep. Let's wait till next year, like you said, right? I mean, and it's not the wrong, it's the wrong answer, right? But I understand people doing that. People have to protect their nonprofits. People have to protect the money that they do have. Yeah. People don't want to lose all their sponsors, right? So people do things, and those decisions are not freaking easy at all, So they could have turned over and said, F it, let's not do it. But instead, they got Miss Bouvier to start getting money together, right? They raised tens of thousands of dollars, for Naples Pride. They're still having Naples Pride no matter what. And then something like this saying, no, we're not going to stand for it, right? We're not going to stand for it. We're not going to roll over. We're not going to kiss the ring. We're going to fight. And they're still going to be able to have their Naples Pride, which is incredible because when they first said this story, I was a little worried. You know, I thought they probably wouldn't be able to have their gala, their pride and everything. Their gala was super successful, and now their pride will be as well.
And Naples is pretty red.
Yes.
I used to work there.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah,
they're
Yes,
red
dude.
now.
Yeah, they don't have the strength of a Wilton Manor or South Beach in terms of people and the
gays.
economical power of
Yes.
the gays.
Yep.
And let's face it, I mean, shout out to also the ACLU. This is now, if you want to put your money, you know, to good use, this is the people you need to support.
Yeah.
ACLU. These people are fighting for us, and it's very, very needed at this time. So.
And Bonnie can probably attest. I mean, performing inside in June in South Florida probably wouldn't have been a bad idea. Frankly. However, this is not just a victory for them. This is a victory for all of the small prides out there, because this is now a precedent.
Yep.
You know, and when, you know, Ms. Bouvier stepped up and was helping, you know, she said it best. You know, this is not just about Naples community. This is about all of our prides nationwide. Because if this had won, that sets precedent. And so the little pride that happens in Mississippi, or the one that in the middle of Kansas, would have not been able to happen.
Which are probably more important than ours. Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely would not have happened if this had stayed the course and not happened, you know, and the city would won. And, you know, it's, and the testament, you know, separate but equal, you know, just kind of stuck in my head, you know, $36,000 for the same service to this community versus something else. I mean, it's not separate but equal. It's discrimination.
It's discrimination.
Hands down.
Right off the bat.
That's right. And all the people of Naples, make sure you go to the Pride. They worked extra hard to put this one together.
Yeah, right.
I mean, every Pride, it takes a lot of effort, but like they put a little bit more elbow grease in this one. So make sure y'all go out, buy some churros or whatever they be selling out there, and go and be gay in public.
I think they'll be selling churros up there in Naples.
Shoot Osco, whatever you want in Naples.
It's a quick drive from Wilton. I think.
No,
you know,
it's not far.
It's not far. I think,
And it's a beautiful drive.
Take a little bus. Take a little bus.
If you can go to Disney, you can go to Naples. So go to Naples Pride as well.
Right.
Yes.
And one last thing
Please.
too, with the this court decision should have been 3-0, not 2-1. So the way that they're doxing us, publish the names of these people who are doing unconstitutional things. I didn't have time to research who it was, but you know, those are the judges. When voting comes out, most of the time when it's judges, we're like, I don't know who this is, like whatever. Do a little research,
note of
find
that.
those people, and make sure that you take note of that judge's name who dissented in that 2-1 decision, and all the other people that contributed to trying to block it. And remember those names. Publish those names.
100%. And on the other side, big shout out and love going to all the people who fought for Naples Pride, all the performers, all the board members, everybody who sets up and puts down, okay? All of you made that happen and will make that super, super successful. On another side note, I want to send love from everybody at this table going out to William Haas, the president of the Bears of South Florida. He just lost his mother. And I just want to send a big shout out to you, saying that we're all thinking about you and we love you. And that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.